everybody, it's Sid from Cool Movie Gram, your source for everything about cool film. Now, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, like my videos, check out my videos and leave your comments and all the usual stuff. And those of you who have already done that, thank you very much and welcome back to the channel. Well, yeah, this is, again, we're still continuing the month of February. I will be uploading these videos a lot more frequently to get them done by the 28th of this month. And of course, this is the 8th video, which is covering Kung Fu movies 15 to 11. Now, without any further ado, let's just carry on with it. Number 15 is Snake and Eagle Shadow, 1978 film directed by Yuen Woo-ping. It stars Jackie Chan, Yin Siu-tian, and Huang Zhengli. Shang Quan is the Eagle Claw Master who has killed everyone in the Snake Fist clan except for Pai Chang-tian and his son. Pai Chang-tian is disguised as a beggar living low-key. He befriends an orphan servant, Chin Fu, who works as a kind of like a handyman and kind of like just a regular servant at a kung fu school. He is bullied by the teachers and used as a punching bag. Pai Chang-tian feels sympathy towards Chin Fu and decides to teach him the snake fish style. Yeah, now this film, when it was made, originally it was actually written for Alexander Fuxing, who of course the late Shaw Brothers star was was pretty much under contract by the Shaws because this was a seasonal films production, so they couldn't get a hold of him. And at that time, Jackie Chan was this new guy who had a lot of potential, but because of his films were pretty much failing at the box office, he was dubbed as the box office poison of Kung Fu cinema because none of his movies were working. And then eventually, somehow Ng Si-yun decided, you know what, I could probably use him in this film. And because Lowe had actually decided to loan him out because they couldn't even release some of the films that were already made because they just never had enough money that Jackie Chan had made. So they couldn't release those old Jackie Chan movies, and eventually he was loaned out to Ng Si-yun. And even though the industry insiders and everybody more or less working in Hong Kong was saying, you know, whatever you do, just don't sign that guy. If you want this film to succeed, make this film without Jackie Chan because he's no good and he's not going to make any money for your movie and it's going to be a complete disaster. But this, you know, worked out different. There was a comedy element to the film, and you get to see Jackie Chan kind of play this great kind of underdog character, like very kind of shy, timid kind of boy. But then the fact that he's his potential is unleashed, you know, by Pai Chang-tian, which is played by Yin Siu-tian. And this film was a resounding success. It's the first time that any of Jackie Chan's movies were actually, you know, breaking like Bruce Lee's box office record in terms of martial arts films. And this kind of made like an instant star of him, and you know, it was a surprise box office smash. And it was just, you know, the casting was perfect. I mean, again, this was pretty much the role that Jackie Chan deserved to play, and having that he wanted to actually do something a bit more comical. And I think Yuen Woo-ping was able to kind of like accommodate to that. I thought, yeah, why not do something a bit more light-hearted, not too serious. And you know, he also cast his own father as Pai Chang-tian, which is the late Yin Siu-tian. And of course, Huang Zhengli was really great in this as well as the main bad guy Shang Quan, or Shang Quan Yun as he's known in the English dub. But the fight choreography again is really great, especially with the opening credits when you see Jackie Chan kind of like just showing off his snake skill abilities, you know, behind a red backdrop. It's iconic, even though they're using like music from I can't remember who it was. It's like Magic Fly, I think it was. Yeah, it's a song called Magic Fly, but then without any actual copyright, I don't believe, but it just kind of made it really kind of iconic. The training sequences in this film are absolutely on point as well. They just kind of really show his kind of development and like how much skill this young man has. And of course, Wang Zhengli is perfectly cast as like the menacing bad guy Shang Quan. He's really good, and you even get American martial artist Roy Horan, who had passed away not too long back, in a in kind of a role who's like a preacher slash hitman from Russia, and who's working for the Eagle Clan. And this is really good. And even some of the comedy sequences involving people like Chang Kang and Chan Long and Dean Shek, of course, playing like a slimy kind of man that you just want to really just punch in the face. But yeah, this has like a really pretty much like the hallmarks of like almost a perfect kung fu movie, and it's just a star-making vehicle for someone who was actually pretty much doubted by the industry at that time that he ain't going to get nowhere. But this film just proved everybody wrong, and just kind of like just set Jackie Chan on his path to like superstardom. Number 14 is Once Upon a Time in China, 1991 movie directed by Choi Hak, starring Jet Li, Yuen Biao, Yan Xi-kwan, Jackie Chan, Rosamund Kwan, and Kent Cheng. Now, Wang Fei-hung runs a local clinic called Po Chi Lam in Foshan. He is also the leader of a local militia, which leads a bunch of fighters to protect the residents from any outside threats. He comes under fire from the governor, who wants to outlaw martial arts, when a gang of thugs attack Po Chi Lam, and also the fact that there's some unscrupulous Westerners that are running a human trafficking ring. Who's going to save the day? Now, yeah, this was pretty much, again, after that, Jet Li had actually kind of exploded onto the screen with his first 3 films, which was Shaolin Temple, Kids from Shaolin, and Shaolin Martial Arts back in the 80s. Those were mainland China productions as opposed to Hong Kong productions, and in mainland China those films were incredibly successful. They had made a star of Jet Li, but then he did afterwards kind of veer towards Hong Kong filmmaking, and he did do a few films. He even directed a film, his 4th film, which was Born to Defend, or Born to Defense in some markets as it's known. Failed to kind of like ignite the box office or even get the critics noticed. He did a film called Dragon Fight, which was also featured Dick Wei and even an early Stephen Chow in a supporting role, which again also failed. And that's where he met his now and current wife, Nina Lee. And even The Master with Choi Hak, but that was filmed in 1989, but then that was kind of like kept on hold because Jet Li's films were just not doing so well. But Choi Hak kind of saw that Jet Li would be a perfect kind of star in this film, where he plays like the Confucian master Wang Fei-hung, and a Chinese legend, a staple of Hong Kong cinema and kung fu movies. Since they've kind of like been being made. And as opposed to having someone older, he had someone much younger like Jet Li play him, and he just played him to stoic kind of perfection. He played a very stoic kind of character, very kind of like principled, stuck with his ideals, very strong moral character, and and again, above all, a great martial artist. And you kind of see how, like, in this film, Choi Hak kind of portrays the changes that are happening within late 19th century China, and how like there's a lot of Western influence. I mean, the set design again is absolutely amazing, just like the second movie. And the fight choreography, I think Lo Kai-ying did some of the fights, as well as Yuen Wu-ping, and they just show a lot of kind of like, there's intensity, there's like a lot of kind of flamboyant movements and whatnot, and just the music score, especially the George Lam kind of like song, which is known as the A Man of Character or something. I think he's the original, A Man of Principle. which pretty much is like the theme tune for Wong Fei-hung since probably the black and white days. And you know, it's just again, he's one of those characters that there's been movies, TV shows, and God knows what made about him, and he's just so iconic. And Choi Hart kind of thought that this would be perfect for Jet Li because this film was an absolute kind of like box office success. It was a smash. It just did so well. It kind of cemented Jet Li not just as a star for mainland China, but even in Hong Kong cinema, that he was actually a bankable star. And yeah, I mean, the fight choreography is really good, and so is the villain, Yen Shi Kwan, playing Iron Robian, I think is his character in this movie. And he's just like, you know, a guy who does this kind of iron robe style, which is kind of impervious to any blows or weapons. And you know, Yun Bu does great as Lung Foon in this film. I mean, I don't know why he probably didn't return in the sequels. He was replaced by Mok Se Jung because he felt that, you know, I'm older than Jet Li, why am I playing someone much younger than him? And you know, that's kind of like putting me as like a second tier hero. And Jackie Chung again, he's playing Bok Tooth So, who's like kind of like a foreign-born Chinese who's come to learn medicine, but he just cannot speak English that well. Rosman Kwan again is perfect as his 13th aunt, which is like someone who's actually adopted by his grandparents, but the fact is there was no blood relation between them. And even Ken Cheng has like a small kind of small role as Butcher Lam Sai Wing, which of course Lam Sai Wing was the most popular student that Wong Fei-hung had. And yeah, again, I mean, it's just the scale of the fight choreography, the intensity. I mean, as much as I loved like the final fights and such, especially when Jet Li kind of takes on Yen Shi Kwan, and even his fight at the Opera Theatre House, that was actually really done really well. But I mean, I also enjoyed the fight that Yen Shi Kwan has when his character is actually introduced. And the fact that he kind of, well, one of the scenes where you see how great he is, where he kind of like just beats this guy kind of at it's like a funeral pyre that's taking place, and he just kind of kicks him through like through the burning stack of logs. It's just absolutely like, it's just iconic and like just so intense. And again, the music score is really good. I mean, everything about this film is just like, when it comes to like top tier filmmaking, definitely Once Upon a Time in China is definitely up on there. And I do hope we do see a 4K release of this film and the whole series itself soon. Number 13 is Martial Club, which is a 1981 film directed by Lo Ka-leung, starring Gordon Liu, Robert Mack, Kara Hui, and Wan Yong-wei. Now, after getting into trouble and offending Kung Fu masters, a young Wong Fei-hung decides to focus more on improving his skills and taking his martial arts more seriously. His best friend, Wang Yinlin, however, is still rather on the whole frivolous path, but he gets injured in an altercation with a northern Kung Fu expert hired by a rival school. This leads to a dispute which actually includes all the major schools in the city. Now, yeah, I've already reviewed this for the 88 Films release of the amazing Blu-ray that they put out for this film on my channel already. And yeah, without a doubt, this film is again another Wong Fei-hung film by coincidence. I mean, but this was absolutely really good because it didn't, even though it was a more of a comical kind of like Wong Fei-hung movie in comparison to Lo Ka-leung's previous one, which was Challenge of the Masters, where Gordon Liu actually also played Wong Fei-hung, who actually learns martial arts from Luo Chai. But this time around, he's a lot more. You know, he's just more like an innocent type. He's like a very much kind of like an innocent, rather quite gullible. And when it comes to like how his friend is a bit more kind of like sharper, but the fact is, you see him kind of evolve into this very kind of serious, kind of stoic personality. But again, I mean, it was quite refreshing to see Wang Yong-wei play someone who's not a bad guy in this film. And even though, I mean, the fight choreography again is done with absolutely amazing kind of like finesse. I mean, Gordon Liu was just that proficient. I mean, I know his health hasn't been so great as of late, but I heard he is getting better, and I do wish him well. And the fight choreography in this film is just amazing. It's just done like long takes, and you get to see the intricacies of each different movement, like the 5 animal styles. I mean, the fight choreography, fights done, especially with the opera house with one of the boys. It was a great fight scene. It's just like a massive rumble, and just everything's just done so well. And then also the most infamous fight scene between him and Gordon Liu and Wang Lung Wei, when they go into the nine alley streets, where it's kind of like literally just twists and turns, like short narrow alleys, and they're kind of like utilizing the environment, and the skills is just done so well. It's just so like it's just they are ferocious, but at the same time just testing one another's skills out. And without a doubt, definitely one of the best martial arts films to come from the Shaw Brothers, without a doubt. And it's just that great, and definitely worth, you know, people to seek out, because it is actually a great movie. Number 12 is Fist of Fury, a 1972 film directed by Lo Wei, starring Bruce Lee, Nora Mill, James Tien, and Tim Fung. After finding out his master was poisoned, Chen Zhen vows revenge. His action causes a stir with authorities and a Japanese dojo who are bullying the Chinese. Right, yeah, well, yeah, again, this was pretty much after success of The Big Boss. Bruce Lee had actually kind of like agreed to make another film with Golden Harvest, and being that his second movie as a leading man, which was again directed by Lo Wei, who had also directed The Big Boss. And he is cast as this kind of like now a synonymously legendary folk hero, Chen Zhen, who's been played by like many other actors in different variations of the story. I mean, although nothing's really known about the real kind of like Chen Zhen, whether he was actually a real character person or not, but he's kind of like whenever Ho Yun Ja or Fok Yun Gap, as he's known in Cantonese, whenever he's brought up, Chen Zhen or Chen Zhen, he's always brought up at the same time. And again, Bruce Lee just explodes onto the screen like with this pure kind of tenacity, and like so kind of like just this kind of brandishing on-screen charisma, especially like when you get to first see him kind of like just go absolute beast mode when he goes to the Japanese dojo, and he just beats up all their students, and he just takes on everybody. And he just, you know, especially when he uses the nunchucks, and he does the whole kind of like lying on the floor, attacking the ankles with the nunchucks and everything. And I thought that was absolutely like just amazing. And you know, even his acting abilities, I mean, especially the scenes that he has with Nora Mill kind of shows like a different layered kind of side to his character. And, you know, you see him kind of take on like different fighters throughout the fight sequences and everything. And even Jackie Chan actually is featured in this film as an extra. He starts, you see him as one of the Chinese like martial kung fu students sparring with one of the female students in one of the scenes. And also, yeah, he was also the double for the main bad guy towards the end, who's actually flying out the window. That was actually a young Jackie Chan at the age of 17, I believe. And he even fights his then student Bob Wall, who a lot of people say was also his kind of like, well, yeah, I'd rather not go there. But yeah, this film again, I mean, it's just absolutely such an iconic movie, filled with some amazing sequences, and it's well made, and possibly Bruce Lee's best Hong Kong film, without a doubt. I mean, you know, it is just that good. Number 11 is Duel to the Death, a 1982 film directed by Chin Xiu-tung, starring Damien Lau, Norman Choi, Flora Chung, and Eddie Ko. Now, every 10 years, a duel is held between the best Chinese and Japanese martial artists. As the next duel approaches, which is more or less during the Song Dynasty, I think, or the Ming Dynasty, a feud between Japanese ninjas and Shaolin monks threatens the battle from happening, which is also a conspiracy of master swordsmen disappearing, with a major house involved, raises a lot of questions about what's going on. You know, when it comes to swordplay, I mean, this movie is just absolutely just such a blast to watch. I mean, the fight choreography again is done with such kind of like swiftness, so fast paced, and you know, the production design of this is really good. And considering there was so much wire work involved, the wires are pretty much hidden in out of sight in a pretty effective way. You got the great leads, like great performances from like Damien Lau and Norman Choi, and even like, for example, some of the Eddie Cole's absolutely amazing as like this kind of like, you know, supposed to be a Japanese monk, but Buddhist monk, but he's actually really kind of like nefarious and very kind of just evil. You know, he's just kind of very manipulative. But again, I mean, the sets and even the fight design, I mean, there's so many great fights in this, and it's like, you know, the way that they've done with the creativity, especially with like some of the ninjas and their skills and like almost supernatural abilities of the actual fighters. It's just absolutely like, it's amazing. It's just such like a joy to watch. I mean, it's full-blooded and just really kind of like, it's got that got Golden Harvest goodness even from like the first frame of the movie. It's just absolutely like one of those must-see films, and you know, it's just like the cinematography again is just done so well, making use of the beautiful locations, especially during the final battle, which is one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen, especially when it comes to swordplay movies. And yeah, I would say definitely check this movie out if you haven't. I mean, Eureka has done a great release of this on from a 2K restoration. I don't believe it's actually available anymore. I mean, I can't find it anywhere. I mean, I need to upgrade my Hong Kong Legends DVD, but it's definitely a must-see film, an absolute belter of a swordplay flick, and a great kung fu movie. Right, yeah, that was my picks 15 to 11. If you do have like any kind of comments or anything that you want to let me know, what you thought of these films, and how you're also enjoying the series so far. I am trying to enjoy it as much as I can whilst I do make this, but I'll do see what I can do. Anyways, well, this is it. I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the next one.